Identity. It's who we are. From the inside out, it is how we define ourselves, how we see ourselves, and how we describe ourselves. Yet, in this growing world of digital media, do we still define ourselves the same on these multiple online platforms to our online friends and foes that we do in the real physical world? In a world that is now ruled and dominated by technology and instant gratification, it can be even more difficult to establish a sense of one's identity. For example, receiving comments and likes online are just one way for individuals to further become someone or something different on the online space. In order to communicate and maintain relationships, individuals turn to practices and mediums that are dominated by an online presence. By doing so, it is possible to create two identities, your online self and your offline self. This could be viewed as looking at yourself in a mirror versus putting on a costume. We have friends online that we may not have offline, and we may share things with people offline that we would not share or post onto the online world. Individuals have the ability to control what they post and what they share onto these spaces, and in some cases, even who is able to view this information. In certain circumstances, it is deemed appropriate or even necessary to create boundaries or regulations for what we choose to share from our offline selves to online. Sharing information with peers, such as pictures, videos, and events, are a common way for individuals to further build on relationships. However, we may be compromising our own privacy by doing so. Our identities, therefore, may be subject to misrepresentation, or we may in fact alter our appearances and personalities for the online space. By trusting these spaces that we put our information onto, we are using the real name web, that is linking content from our online lives to our offline lives by using our real names. However, in what situations or context is it acceptable to use a pseudonym or to even play with our identity online? By leaving ourselves vulnerable in such a space, do we still identify ourselves the same? And do others still view us the same? In these next 3 chapters you are about to see, you will meet the identities of 3 individuals. How do they see themselves? How do they believe others see them? And what are their motivations for the identities they are providing?
When I was new to social media just a few years ago, I only had about 50 or so friends that I knew I was in contact with periodically, and those friends would be the ones I associated with through going out or texting or calling. It was my way of keeping in contact with people when I moved out of state. But then once that got pretty boring and those friends would share the same type of content, or you wouldn't see a lot of those people even share things, the social media aspect kind of got boring. So you kind of dig deep into friends of friends, you get information about people you may know, and then those aren't people that I associate with or text or hang out with at all, but those are people that I'm connected with in a social media world.
I'd say I'm very public. I'm very open. I like to share a lot of what I do. I'm very proud of a lot of things. I'm excited about a lot of things. I like being connected with people that are all over the country, all over the world. I'm very public. However, there's a lot of things I do not share purposely, so I guess that would make me a little bit more private because I don't tell everyone everything. You would probably say that I would choose to tell what I want to say, but I do share a lot more than probably most of my followers or folks that I follow.
I am outgoing, adventurous, spontaneous, fun, and very sociable. I believe that I portray myself the same in both venues, in an online world and an offline world. I think that the way I am around friends and family is the same way I am online when I post things, whether it's Facebook or a blog. I don't see how or understand why someone would portray themselves a little bit differently in one avenue than the other. I'm assuming that some people may add extra items to their online world, or maybe hide stuff and not show their true selves that they are in the offline world. I use my real name. I don't try to hide my account. I'm only connected with people I don't mind sharing with. I purposely make my account private because I don't want to share things with other people that I don't know. I don't feel like other people I'm not connected with need to know about my life. Because I share very much of what my life is like in an offline world, I think that I'm very true to myself.
Obviously, I won't just say anything online because who would? That's not a good thing to do. Everything online are aspects of myself that I will. Nothing is fake though. Like I don't just make up stuff. Everything I portray of myself online is true. A lot of my friends that I know that I've actually met online and now I'm friends with them in real life. Read tweets I make, they're like, that totally sounds like something you'd say, and I can picture you saying that in your voice. Usually a lot of sarcastic stuff. I've always been very sarcastic though. People tell me I'm witty. I mean, I can't decide that for myself. If it's just someone I know online, I won't really tell them a whole lot. But a lot of the people I meet online, I actually do meet up in person. And most of my friends now are people I met on the internet. I'm usually pretty private, but if I get to know someone, then I'll probably end up telling them too much. But they also do the same. They tell me everything about them, so it's kind of a give and take. But I'm usually pretty quiet and shy if I don't really know anyone. So I always thought it'd be fun to pick a different name. I don't actually like the name I was born with, and it's just kind of fun to be someone else on the internet. You can kind of say more online too if you don't have your real name attached to it, because then it's just this pseudonym that people think of, and they don't actually know what your name is or what you look like or where you live. It's just like, oh, such and such is a total jerk. Be like, oh, well, that's what they said about Naruto fan or whatever your name would be online, not what my actual name is. Unless it's something official like LinkedIn, then I never use my real name anywhere because I just don't really see the point. People don't need to know. Also, my name is unique and no one in the world has the same name I do. It's not like my name is John Smith. Like, if you see my name, that's me. I almost kind of feel like it's the same identity. Certain aspects are emphasized, some are de-emphasized. It's all me. It's all real.
First, I didn't really think about it much, but now that I've been blogging for about a year now, I've realized that it helps me keep it professional versus personal because it's easier to take criticism when it's something that's not connected directly to my name. And there's just a business aspect to it where it's like I would prefer to be known as Dallin Forks online than my real self because that helps me keep my personal life away from everyone. Having the name also helps me exaggerate my personality online because I get better feedback from anyone who follows me or anyone who reads or comments on the blog because there's a certain type of person or personality that they prefer rather than just normal person. However, online, I would say I'm a bit more high energy than in real life. I guess it's easier to do that online because I don't really have to hold myself back. I can just be an exaggerated version of myself. I've also noticed that when I'm a little bit more high energy online, people or readers, followers usually interact more, which makes it easier and makes me want to keep that personality going so that the amount of followers rise and I get more readers. They are separate. Obviously, they have many things in common because it is still me. I am a little bit afraid of losing myself and my personality and the things that make me me to the persona of the blog because of the fact that I'm scared to show certain aspects of myself on the blog because I'm scared people aren't going to approve, that I don't want that to go into my real life where I stop being myself because I'm constantly worried about people approving or disapproving.
Who are we, really? Are we defined by the names we give, the way we look, the way we act, the way we portray ourselves? Whether it be self-driven or peer-driven, identity is an individual aspect that only oneself can create. The motivations for this are defined and curated by the combination of how others view them and also how they view themselves. These 3 chapters are only a minority example of how people view themselves online and offline. The consensus from this is that individuals believe they hold one identity for both of those spaces. 2 names and 1 identity.